So I'm Dawn Belt-Davis. I am an assistant professor in the Division of Endocrinology in the Department of Medicine. So my lab works primarily on diabetes, and we're trying to understand how the pancreatic beta cell, which are the cells that make insulin, how they divide and expand in response to obesity. Well, it's very important for today's society because, as you are probably aware, obesity rates are going up significantly in this country and across the world. So right now, already, about 60% of the population in this country is overweight or obese, and the rates of diabetes go up along with that. So we're looking at a rate of diabetes in the 20% range very soon. So what we're trying to understand is what are the things that put someone who's obese or overweight at risk for developing diabetes, and can we find a way to intervene before they actually develop diabetes or early on in their diabetes to kind of slow the progress. I work with a number of other professors. We have collaborations with scientists in the transplant surgery program who work on transplantation for patients with diabetes, where they do either whole pancreas or actual islet transplants for patients with type 1 diabetes. We collaborate with a group that works through the Primate Center and is looking at regulation of pancreatic beta cell mass in rhesus monkeys that are exposed to high blood sugars when they're in utero, so their mothers have high blood sugars, and what's the effect on the adult children of those mothers. And I'm also collaborating with someone in orthopedic surgery working on the role of diabetes in arthritis. Well, it's highly variable, so we do all sorts of different things. Some of our work is all based in cells, or just working with DNA or tissue in the lab. We also work with mouse models of disease, so we have work where we're measuring blood levels of glucose or insulin in a mouse model. And then we also work with human tissue as well and try to measure gene expression and changes in human tissue. So it's pretty variable, and most people in the lab work on a combination of all those things together. So on one given day they might be doing mouse work, on the next day they might be doing more lab work at the bench. I do. This semester I actually have 2 undergrads in the lab. I usually have 2 to 3. And then I also have 2 PhD graduate students in the lab as well. Well, it's a little different between the two. So the undergraduates, their main responsibility is to, depending on exactly what they're doing, when they're working for independent study credit, then their job is to have a pretty clearly defined project. They're usually working with a graduate student or someone else in the lab to assist them, but still get some experience working on the project a little bit on their own, especially as they've been in the lab a little longer. Well, we hope that we will be able to identify some of the key factors that are important in the beta cell to allow them to expand and divide and be resistant to cell death. And the goal would be that then we can help patients with obesity or with early diabetes kind of grow new beta cells and be able to produce enough insulin so that they don't have diabetes.